Okay, so this is the back panel. I've already highlighted my lines, my bodies already, and then I took out 1-inch zip allowance. Okay, so that's that. So now I want to do the other areas needed. So now I'm taking my darts, and then when we analyzed our darts on that part, the dart was 4 inches. So I'm taking it from the zip allowance. I am not starting from like the edge of this place. That's like a total wrong error. So I'm taking from here 4, and I marked here as well 4, and I marked it up onto the bust point on 4. And so I'm joining up those markings together. Alright, I just joined them together. Okay, so now I haven't done that. My shoulder is 15, so that's 7.5. And I added 1/2 inch to it. Alright, so I'm just doing that up onto my shoulder. Okay, so I'm taking out the midpoint, which was 3.75. So, and then I'm connecting this to that there. Okay, so I'm using my hand, or rather let me use this curve, and let me see if this curve is going to give me a very beautiful curve that I want. If it gives me that really beautiful curve that I want, so I will be glad about that. So okay, it's actually giving me something nice. Okay, so that's that. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, so that's the back curve. Alright, so for the back curve, I won't be doing that elimination of 1 inch that I did right about here when we're doing the front panel. So I'm simply just taking 1.5 out, and then I'm marking that all the way down on the fabric. Okay, just like that. Alright, so after doing that, now I'm of course taking my normal bodice, which is my normal measurement, 8.5, 1 inch for joining the darts together, and then my 1.5 allowance. So the same thing is going for all this. 1 inch for joining the close together, and my darts allowance, which is 1.5. And then we have the same thing happening for this place. So, and then this part, which was the blouse hip, so I have the same thing happening for it, 1 inch and 1.5. So we're joining all that together, all right, to each other. Okay, all right, so you can see that, right? Exactly. Okay, so now I want to come, I told you, down here 1 inch, and then we just make it next to nothing. Okay, the same way we did it in the first section. So I'm coming to the neck. You can see this is so like fast. Coming to the neck now. So we did 3 up here. Now it's a choke neck, so this back would be nothing more than 1 inch because it's a choke neck. Okay, so I'm using that as 1 inch, and I'm using this to draw out that curve that I need there. Alright, so okay, so that's that curve there now. And then 1 inch shoulder slope, and I connect that together. Alright, okay, so I wouldn't be doing any 1/2 inch taking here. I wouldn't be doing that for the back, it's just for the front. Alright, so this is this now. I was explaining something. You know, when we did our peplum blouse, I actually told you that there's a difference in doing a bump for the zip in a fitted style and if you have a cut around the waist, and I explained how we do the one with the cut around the waist. So I want to explain how we do the one with the cut around a long fitted blouse that is all a gown. Okay, so we come up to our waist and then we mark ½ inch out. All right, ½ inch, just ½ inch. Okay, so we mark that out, and after marking that ½ inch out, you simply take this all the way up here. Just that simple ½ inch. You know now. Alright, can we see that? And then we do the same thing. We connect it to the down part as well. Alright, so this is it. And then we cut this part out. We do not need this part anymore. This is a waste. So that I have used in eliminating the bump. So at the end of the day, you know, my zip allowance is just always 1 inch. So at the end of the day, you have this as your new mark for the zipper part. Okay, but when you just cut it out, as long as you're sewing your clothes, you wouldn't even know that you did anything, because you see this is the new zipper area now. So we've eliminated that bump around here. But now if you cut it out and you sew, you won't even know you did anything here, because you just take your fabric your normal way, sew it down with your 1 inch allowance, the same way you're going to sew it on a norm. So don't start thinking, oh, there's going to be a curve there. No, you won't even know. You won't even know at all. So that's just it. So this is the back bodies for the work. So let's not forget what the front bodies looked like. So this was the front bodies, and that is the back bodies. So I'm cutting the back bodies out, and then I will show you now, and I also cut out these front bodies as well. So we'll be cutting it out now. So just look at me the way I'm cutting it, and keep looking at the cutting system. So I'm cutting this. Don't forget there's a curve there, so we're going up there. All right, and then I'm cutting the shoulder slope around here. Okay, and I took my hand out for me to come here, and so I'm not forgetting the fact that I have to do my curve. Okay, so quite slanty. I'll come back to it again when I'm done sewing that part. All right, so okay. So that's the back. So I would now have to pieces these patterns before I transfer them to the fabric. So I'm going to be cutting this part through this way, and also this part I'll be cutting out all of these bumps and all that.